Welcome to today's edition of Erongo Talk, your favorite online news show. I'm Otis, your host at the coast, and we are coming to you all the way from Platz Am Meer in Swakopmund. On today's show, Mr. Neville Baker chats to us about the new Bakersville Town planned near Walvis Bay. Also, stay tuned for some news, Grumpy's fishing report, your daily weather update, and the tides. First up is our calendar day, and today we celebrate Wear No Mask Day. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy today's edition of Erongo Talk. In today's news, two of Namibia's fishing companies, Tunacor and Seawork, intend to construct 1,500 houses for the employees in Walvis Bay. Both companies' intentions were discussed at a Walvis Bay Council meeting recently, and while there was some opposition, the proposals have been noted and the process to discuss the materialization of the plan was agreed to by the majority of Council's management committee. The service land applied for is just north of Walvis Bay to the southern boundary of the fuel jetty site. According to the council agenda, both companies want to buy land from the council to build the houses on. The applications were submitted to the Urban Development Ministry for approval, after which the process to establish the sites as townships will start. Now, the fishing industry is the biggest employer in town, with many of its workers living in shacks and who are amongst those on the waiting list. Besides this, the fishing industry is also pressured to provide housing to their workers, amongst other social responsibilities, to tick off certain conditions required by the fisheries minister when it comes to the consideration for quota allocations. En nou vir ietsie in Afrikaans. Terwyl 'n projek om 'n promenade vir onafhanklikheidsstrand te ontwikkel nog in die beginfase is, het die Raad van die Walvis Bay munisipaliteit reeds in beginsel 'n aanbod van 11 miljoen Namibiese dollar deur die Europese Unie daarvoor goedgekeur. So 'n fasiliteit behels gewoonlik 'n openbare wandelpad en sluit ook ander openbare ontspanningsgeriewe soos banke en parke in. Die Hawedorp se munisipaliteit beplan al vir 'n geruime tyd om onafhanklikheidsstrand wat aan die buitewyke van Swakopmund geleë is op te gradeer. Maar die implementering van die projek word vertraag weens 'n gebrek aan geld. Die munisipaliteit in samewerking met die Europese stad Czerwonak in Pole het gereageer op 'n oproep vir voorstelle deur die EU om saam met plaaslike owerhede te werk en volhoubare stede te ontwikkel. Walvis Bay en sy Poolse ewetnie het 'n projek voorgestel wat die bou van stedelike groen infrastruktuur by onafhanklikheidsstrand sal behels en kapasiteitsbou vir sleutelraadslede sowel as amptenare van ander plaaslike owerhede in Erongo. Die voorstel is gekies vir die toekenning van sowat 1,4 miljoen euro, dit is 23 miljoen Namibiese dollar, oor 'n implementeringstydperk van 36 maande. Sowat die helfte van die geld sal vir die promenade wees, terwyl die res van die kapasiteitsbouoefening geoormerk is. And finally, apart from household water debt and the water debt of businesses operating in Swakopmund, the total outstanding debt for GRN municipal services in the town and free water to the DRC amounts to about 17.5 million. While the municipality did not want to give specific figures to Erongo 24/7 due to the high confidentiality and sensitivity of its valued customers' accounts, the institution did eventually divulge that the outstanding municipal services debt of various ministerial service accounts amounts to nearly $15 million, Namibian dollars. Furthermore, the outstanding fee for free water, which was supplied through standpipes for the DRC informal settlement as a COVID-19 emergency measure, amounts to 1.6 million Namibian dollars. It's called free, but it's not really free. Either the government compensates, or it might just be paid by residential households, an officer at the municipality told the publication. The free water supply started in May 2020 and was discontinued in October 2021. The Swakopmund Municipality Council recently appealed to businesses, government institutions, and developers with high or long outstanding unpaid municipal accounts, especially water, to pay their accounts or be disconnected. They are given till 1 April to settle their accounts. Alternative, reasonable arrangement can be formally made with the municipality. And that concludes our news for today.
Good day, Erongo Talk viewers. Adam Hartman here, and I'm here with Mr. Neville Baker, who is the developer of the prospected Bakersville Township, just outside Walvis Bay. There's a lot of news reporting happening about this development, a lot of excitement considering the land and housing need at the coast, especially at the harbour town. And Mr. Baker here with Bakersville has a fantastic new concept that he is introducing. It's received a lot of good positive feedback, and he's going to tell us a bit more about it. Mr. Baker, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Please explain to us a little bit who or what is Bakersville exactly?
So Hartman, Bakersville is basically a new smart city concept based on that, although we're trying our best for that one. But we've designed Bakersville to be is the first independent new town, referring to a town and not a township extension to a town, but a complete new town with its own houses, all zoning industry like industrial businesses, school, clinics, and everything you get the same exactly like in Walvis Bay, in Swakopmund, Windhoek, or other places.
Wow.
So Bakersville was designed, to be a complete independent town on its own.
I've never heard of that concept in Namibia, where a town, sort of a pop-up town, one can say, is in, can be developed. How many people can it accommodate?
If you look about estimate 4 or 5 people per houses or whatever, and you look at 170,000 units, especially if you just do it houses, then it's 5 times, so it can accommodate then basically 500,000 people then.
So there's obviously, it's a huge development, and it's going to happen in phases. Where are we in the process at the moment?
Well, we're now still in the beginning stage of this town. We've started this, well, I cannot say the project, by starting off with the idea from Bakersville 14 years back, basically. And the last 7 years, we've been working through government with all the statutory processes and see how to make this one possible. And seeing that it is a new concept and the first one of its kind. Basically, town's been built, but the first one completely out of its own. It should really do a lot of work and seeing all the government departments, need to be involved, to get the whole strategy process and be able to come at this stage where we are now currently, basically. So the status where we are now is that we really need to start, but even the start was a bit difficult to do. So what we have done is to launch a scoping exercise, just to see how the people react. Because we're putting houses now, we see the interest in. We know the municipality has got ground and they can do that, but always the money factor is a problem. And to do the service work, it costs a lot of money, and all the planning, so everything you do, it costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
So we put this whole package, we put it into a bucket. So, to get a lot of funds for this one, to do this down and to start off this scoping exercise that we have launched now, we made sure that we had the money to do this one, do the service work, and also to accommodate the people on this area. In Bakersville, in this area we call now the Nevdale.
Yes, after your name, Neville.
Well, I don't want to say that loud,
Okay,
but so
all right.
so that's what we've done. So we've launched 4,800 errands to start off with this, just for people to see how they can, we can get the interest, and then we can do a reservation on the errands, and this would help us to get a quicker start, to start off with this. We cannot do all service work what we don't have enough people, although we know the need is great, and would people stay there, because this is the area outside of Walvis Bay.
Yes.
On the outskirts of Walvis Bay, just next to the airport, which is there. I think a lot of people knows about Farm 58 from the municipality, the heavy industry area, and we thought it would be a good thing just to put it on that, on the other side. Very nice flat land, landscape is very good. You don't have a lot of land, sand to move away, or what is actually not sand.
We've got the airport on the one side, and then there will be this major heavy industrial area on the other side.
Yes.
So there will be a lot of activity taking place, jobs and so forth.
Yeah. That's why we thought of doing this housing area just against Farm 58 in Bakersville side, so that people can move both ways. All the jobs created in Walvis Bay and also in Bakersville, because Bakersville started also with a lot of big industries currently now, and the people required now, even for this year, for Bakersville, is about 15,000. Need to do the work. So job creation very, very good for the contracts that I know from Bakersville has already been signed, for projects to pop up.
You've had some public meetings lately. What was the interest like? How did you gauge people's interest in the project?
The first one, for 3 weeks back, we had a meeting. Actually, when we started launching this scoping exercise, I was invited to have a talk. People just wanted to know a little bit more. So we feel free, and then we talk to them and just tell them what it's all about, about the event, and how they can, how they would be able to afford this one by doing a reservation on this app, so that we can also know, how much people we get on all the extensions, and where we have to start with the service work. It would help us with the planning to do some service work, not to do the whole desert, just to concentrate on where the people would stay, and from there on move on, on with that. So the first week actually went very, very well, and we did that in Swakopmund. But actually, it was most of the people that was in the shack dwellers, and they really needed to know more about this, see how much it will cost them to start off with getting airborne. And then we thought of, creating bigger airvans, not the ones, the 150, 180 square meter, which the people moan of, you don't actually get a good valuation for that one. So we thought the minimum ERF would be 350 square meter. Yeah. So for a 350 square meter ERF would be 30,000 for the ERF, and you can down pay it with $1,000 per month. Okay. So I think that is much more affordable. And instead of trying to get a house in the ERF for what it is costly, and it's difficult to afford. But once you have an ERF, it is all right, and then we start doing relocating or help actually out, with people. I know, especially with this burn cities now there, and we know the other ground of municipality are there. But I know we've got a backlog of 65,000 people. Oh. And how fast can you build houses for that one? It's impossible if you can only build 72 houses basically in a year. So we could really help out with that, to building faster houses. That's why we did the scoping exercise. But we actually, with that first weekend, I thought if we can have 300 or 500 people, we can basically organize to start off in a service work. But the first weekend we got 1,500 applicants, applied for,
Wow.
for this. So we thought now it was actually good. So more and more quickly called us, and suddenly it's a big bang, and then everybody called, and so we're sitting currently now after the 3 weeks with 4,500 applicants.
Wow.
For the houses.
So when we're talking about, I mean, this sounds like a huge exercise. Where's the funding coming from, and how much is being allocated for it currently?
Yeah, we talk about not just the housing sector, but the whole of Walvis Bay itself. We're talking about the heavy industries. Of course, there's only refinery coming there. Talking about the pipeline, the storage facility that we've allocated already placed for that one. We've got a Mbaki solar effect, Mbaki FX solar that we also put in there. It's over 110 megawatt solar plant that we put up for the power. And we got funds from GOtv, Global Research Park. All that's already been organized. We spoke to Bank of Namibia. It already went through our government system, and all the funds is already on the way. And our funder, the president of Global Research Park, will be here for next week to sign off all the funds or what. So we got the funds ready to start the work. And our first phase of the funds is 3.67 billion US dollars.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think that will give us a good kickstart, for taking off with the service work, and also with a lot of the industries in the town and ample houses. We start off with the first Airbans now, but our mission is to build 28,000 houses of that area in Bakersville.
Wow. It was mentioned that this is a new concept. And by the sounds of it, it's a private development, so it will be privately managed, not a normal local authority. Is that correct?
Yes.
Something similar to what is it, Roshpina?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But when we're talking about the new concept, what exactly do you mean by that?
Because of the high technology that we start in that town, we talk about 25 to 30 years technology advance.
Wow.
So a lot of things in town would not work exactly. Of course, we've got to bind ourselves to the town planning scheme, the rules of regulations of the government, and all that. But taking that into digital sector, it's difficult to join up with municipalities now, and everybody has to learn that. You cannot downgrade the learning. So our town is already upgraded to that level, especially when the plans and your site diagrams or what, instead of standing in lines with the municipality, you get all your things digital. It will do it faster, and it will start matching up, with the ISO 9001 international standards.
Okay.
That will give the world market, a good image of Bakersville.
Sounds like a smart city.
It's smart city concept. Yes, of course.
All right. So where exactly? People want to be involved with this. People want houses. There's a big demand. As you said, there's 65,000 people on a waiting list. What can they do to become a resident of Bakersville? What can they do now?
Well, as I said, we had a lot of waves. We had a lot of positive feedback. Yeah. But I also think, there's a lot of the people that doesn't want progress on this, so there were a little bit bad influence on that one. But if you can tell the people, not to, this is an absolute 100% legit project, all supported by all the government areas that needed to go. If there's one we didn't know, then it must be hidden. But the good thing is if they can still come and apply just to put a reservation on contact our Bakersville office. We have in Windhoek and Walvis Bay 2 offices, and currently in Swakopmund also one. We'll put this in the Namibia, we'll put it market where they can come and sign up for this. One of the places they sign up in Walvis Bay is Expert Healthcare that helps a lot, also our partner from Bakersville. And everybody knows that office, just before JD's in Walvis Bay, where they can go and sign up to be part of the Bakersville. And we've got a little requirement that they've put there. If they want to reserve an area, we request $1,000 for a reservation. And this money, they don't have to worry, be scared of this one. This is not a scam. They can take this money, it's been putting into a trust account, and it stays there. We've got a lot of money doing the project. So this is just to secure your place. And then we can, because there's still a lot of work to do. We put it onto a chute. It's a complete new system that we are using. They're putting this up, and then we will give the people in a month a reservation form, and they know exactly their place is secure. And then they can start pay down the rest of the money for the $30,000 to pay down.
I think what we'll do is maybe just add a telephone number or email address to the section that people can at least follow up, maybe contact you or see where they can get application forms or registration forms. Or you've got these details available.
Yes.
All right. So people, there you have it. Bakersville, Mr. Baker, the baker. It's going to go like sweet cakes or soetkoek. So be sure not to miss it. We'll put up the details for you to follow up, to follow through, contact, to get your, to register your place in the sun in Bakersville, become a resident of Bakersville. Mr. Baker, you've got Nev Dale and you've got Bakersville. It sounds like you've got maybe a political future ahead of you becoming the mayor of Bakersville. Is that your intention as well?
No, not, I don't know. That, I think currently I'm the executive mayor now, yeah.
Okay,
So.
excellent. So thank you for joining us, and people, thank you for joining us on Erongo Talk. And as soon as this Bakersville gets up and running, we'll bring you a follow-up. Take care.
Thank you.
All right.
Platz Am Meer is a landmark on the coastline of Namibia, a home to quality shops and quality restaurants, a select variety of fashion and food retailers, as well as banks, not to mention the pier with 36 luxury apartments and entertainment for the whole family. Find us at corner of Tabaret and Albatross Street, Vineta North, Swakopmund. Call us on 064 462 242. Visit platzammeer.com.na or at Platz Am Meer on Facebook. Platz Am Meer, enhancing your coastal experience.
Right on the water's edge, the Walvis Bay waterfront is home to various cafes, restaurants, and businesses. You can enjoy a leisurely stroll and admire the resident wildlife. Or you can simply bask in the tranquility of the scenery. With the COVID-19 pandemic, the waterfront is a lot quieter, so we are challenging you to support our local businesses. Erongo Talk, our community, your news.
And now for today's fishing report. According to our fishing guru, Grumpy, anglers enjoyed an exciting week of angling with some really good catches made. Ray Moody from Swakopmund and his son John went fishing at Deep Sloop, which is about 600 meters to the northern side of Mile 8's parking area just before Wit Klippe. This angling spot is notorious for sharks, but quite a few big cop have been landed there recently. Using sardine as bait, Mr. Moody landed a little unexpected happiness from the Atlantic Ocean. Reports also came in from shark anglers that were targeting spotties at Mile 6 who got stuck into some big cop. There is a saying among anglers that you can only catch a fish if your bait is in the water. This is very true, so never give up, advises Grumpy. Mile 72 was probably the peak of the week, with some steenbras as well as kop and galjoen being pulled ashore. Henties by guides Lewis van Auks and Gellar Slabbert reeled in some decent steenbras weighing between 8 kg and 13 kg. They caught them on octopus at a canopy area. The ski boats around Swakopmund have been getting some younger carp again, and it seems as if the sulfur has somewhat subsided. This is perhaps an indication that good catches will come in soon. There is a national angling competition coming up soon. This should make for some great fishing. The top anglers around the country will partake in this prestigious competition, and we wish them good luck. The white mussels are slowly but surely going deeper at Long Beach, so now is the time to collect some. As long as you have the recreational angling license and stick to the allocated 25 white mussels per person. They freeze easily, so one can also keep them relatively fresh for at least a few months in the freezer. Your local fishing shop should, however, have fresh bait if you didn't get a chance to collect some. Conditions for angling remain on the good side, with some sunshine and calm seas expected to give the anglers some decent fish. And with that, we say tight lines.
In Thursday's weather report, for Walvis Bay the sun will set 16 minutes past 7 and will rise 5 minutes past 7 on Friday. Walvis Bay will experience a maximum of 20 degrees Celsius with a minimum of 17 and a maximum of 22 degrees Celsius predicted for Friday. A west-northwesterly wind will prevail with a speed of 11 kilometers per hour. For Swakopmund, the sun will set 16 minutes past 7 and will rise 5 minutes past 7 on Friday. Swakopmund will experience a maximum of 20 degrees Celsius with a minimum of 17 and a maximum of 21 degrees Celsius predicted for Friday. A west-northwesterly wind will prevail with a speed of 11 kilometers per hour. For Henties Bay, the sun will set 17 minutes past 7 and will rise 6 minutes past 7 on Friday. Henties Bay will experience a maximum of 20 degrees Celsius with a minimum of 17 and a maximum of 21 degrees Celsius predicted for Friday. A southwest wind will prevail with a speed of 9 kilometers per hour. For Arandas, the sun will set 14 minutes past 7 and will rise 3 minutes past 7 on Friday. Arandas will experience a maximum of 28 degrees Celsius with a minimum of 18 and a maximum of 30 degrees Celsius predicted for Friday. A west-southwesterly wind will prevail with a speed of 9 kilometers per hour. For Usakos, the sun will set 12 minutes past 7 and will rise 1 minute past 7 on Friday. Usakos will experience a maximum of 34 degrees Celsius with a minimum of 19 and a maximum of 34 degrees Celsius predicted for Friday. A north-northwesterly wind will prevail with a speed of 13 kilometers per hour. For Karibab, the sun will set 11 minutes past 7 and will rise at 7 o'clock on Friday. Karibab will experience a maximum of 33 degrees Celsius with a minimum of 18 and a maximum of 32 degrees Celsius predicted for Friday. A north wind will prevail with a speed of 11 kilometers per hour. And lastly, for Omaruru, the sun will set 10 minutes past 7 and will rise 1 minute to 7 on Friday. Omaruru will experience a maximum of 33 degrees Celsius with a minimum of 18 and a maximum of 33 degrees Celsius predicted for Friday. A north-northeasterly wind will prevail with a speed of 9 kilometers per hour. And that was your Thursday weather report.
And with that, we've come to the end of today's show. Join our online family of more than 90,000 followers. Go like our Erongo Facebook page and visit our website www.erongo.com.na for information and news about the region. Send us your news tips, photos and video clips to newstips@erongo.com.na. Or if you would like to advertise and reach over 1 million potential customers, contact us via WhatsApp or Telegram on 08117 00040. And if you are in need of quality company, check out our NMH TV channel at oneup2.com or join us on DStv channel 285 or GOtv channel 94. Finally, we know masks are no longer a must in public, but keep on sanitizing those hands, practice social distance, and stay safe. Wishing you a splendid day, and until next time, it's cheerio.